You're walking down the hallway late at night, a simple glass of water in hand. The floor seems steady, the air calm, and yet, with one unexpected slip, you find yourself tumbling forward. Your arms shoot out instinctively to catch your body, but instead of holding you up, they give way. The weakness in your arms turns what should have been a small stumble into a painful crash. For too many seniors, this is the moment when everything changes. A fractured wrist, a bruised shoulder, or worse, a loss of independence. Most people think weak arms are simply part of aging, something you must accept as your body slows down. But the truth is more frightening. Weakness isn't just about muscle loss. It's about losing your ability to protect yourself from falls, to lift everyday items, or even to push yourself up from a chair. And here's the shocking part. One of the biggest reasons arms become frail is not because you didn't go to the gym or because you skipped a vitamin pill. Instead, it comes down to the very foods you've overlooked. Foods you may think are too basic or just for poor man's meals. As a doctor who has seen countless seniors suffer after preventable accidents, I can tell you this: arm strength after 60 is not optional. It's survival. And surprisingly, the very foods that can bring your strength back are not exotic supplements, not expensive powders, but humble legumes. Chickpeas, lentils, black beans, soy, peas. These are the quiet heroes sitting in your pantry, often ignored, but carrying the precise nutrients that aging muscles crave. Before we dive into the details, I want to pause for a moment. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Now, let me introduce you to a story that changed how I see weak arms forever. Mrs. Eleanor, a 72-year-old retired teacher, came to me after suffering her second wrist fracture in less than a year. She wasn't careless. She lived cautiously, used a cane, and avoided slippery floors. But each time she tripped, her arms failed her. When we checked her muscle density, it was far below what we would expect for her age. She admitted she avoided most protein-rich foods because she thought they were too heavy or expensive. Her diet consisted mainly of toast, tea, and occasional vegetables. When I suggested she incorporate legumes, just a cup of lentils and soup, some chickpeas in a salad, she was skeptical. Beans? Those can really help? She asked. But within 6 months of making legumes her daily staple, Eleanor's grip strength improved significantly. More importantly, she had the confidence to walk without constant fear. The food that she had once dismissed as simple became her shield against frailty. And this is why we need to talk seriously about what's happening inside your body after 60. As we age, muscle fibers shrink, protein synthesis slows, and recovery takes longer. Doctors call it sarcopenia, the gradual, unstoppable decline in muscle mass. It doesn't just affect your legs and back. Your arms, the very limbs you rely on to protect yourself from falls, are among the first to weaken. And here's where legumes step in. They're plant-based proteins, combined with unique nutrients like iron, magnesium, and resistant starch, deliver exactly what your arms need to repair and rebuild. Think of it this way. Every bite of beans or lentils is like sending construction workers into your body. They patch up damaged fibers, strengthen the scaffolding of your muscles, and ensure your arms can carry you through daily life without fear. Without them, your body is left with fewer tools to fight decline. So, let me ask you directly, if something as simple as adding legumes to your plate could mean the difference between catching yourself in a fall or lying helpless on the floor, Why wouldn't you try it? And if you think chickpeas are impressive, just wait until you hear what lentils can do. Their iron-rich power might surprise you. Lentils may not look like much at first glance. Tiny, earthy-colored discs sitting quietly in a bag or can. But inside those little seeds is a powerhouse of nutrients that can mean the difference between frailty and resilience in your arms. For seniors over 60, lentils are more than food. They're a lifeline. Let's start with the medical fact. After 60, the body's ability to absorb iron declines. This is partly due to changes in stomach acid production, and partly because the intestines become less efficient. Low iron isn't just about feeling tired. It directly weakens your muscles. Without enough iron, your red blood cells can't carry sufficient oxygen. And without oxygen, your muscles, especially your arm muscles, cannot generate strength when you need it most. That's why seniors often report that their arms feel like jelly when lifting even light objects. Now, here's the lesser-known fact about lentils. Unlike many plant foods, lentils contain a unique blend of amino acids, especially lysine and leucine. These two are critical for stimulating muscle protein synthesis, the very process your body uses to repair and grow stronger fibers. Think of it like this. Iron delivers the oxygen, while amino acids deliver the building blocks. Together, they allow your arms not only to function, but to recover and rebuild after every strain. Let me share the story of Mr. Samuel, a 68-year-old retired postman. Samuel came to me after experiencing alarming weakness in his forearms. He told me, "Doctor, I can't even hold my coffee mug without trembling." His blood work revealed mild anemia, low red blood cell counts, combined with muscle wasting. His diet was heavy on bread, tea, and processed snacks, but low in protein and iron. He thought meat was the only way to get iron, but he couldn't afford it regularly. I recommended he start with something affordable and easy: lentil soup 3 times a week. Samuel was hesitant at first. He thought beans would upset his stomach, but we worked out a plan. Soaking lentils before cooking to improve digestibility, and combining them with vitamin C-rich vegetables like tomatoes to increase iron absorption. Within 8 weeks, his energy improved noticeably. By 6 months, his grip test showed a 20% increase in strength. For Samuel, the difference wasn't just physical, it was emotional. He no longer felt helpless when lifting groceries or hugging his grandchildren. This is why lentils deserve a permanent place in your pantry. They're not just protein, they're restoration in a bowl, and they're flexible. You can make a hearty stew, a warm curry, or even toss them cold into a salad. Every serving brings you one step closer to arms that can hold steady, catch your fall, or support you in daily tasks. But let's go deeper. Lentils also carry polyphenols, natural plant compounds with anti-inflammatory effects. Chronic low-grade inflammation is another silent enemy of seniors. It eats away at your muscles over time. By calming inflammation, lentils create an environment in your body where muscles can heal instead of break down. Imagine your muscles as a construction site. Without lentils, the workers arrive, but find the ground flooded and unstable. With lentils, the ground clears, the oxygen flows, and the workers can finally build strong, steady structures. Now, I want you to picture this. You reach for a jar on the top shelf. Without strong arms, that jar feels impossibly heavy. But with consistent, simple changes like eating lentils, you could lift it without fear, without trembling, without pain. Isn't that the independence we all want to keep? So, I'll ask you this. If lentils, one of the cheapest, simplest foods, can rebuild your strength, Why wait another day to add them to your diet? And remember, lentils aren't the only legume that can do this. If you think their iron and amino acids are powerful, wait until you hear what black beans can do for your blood sugar, and why stable sugar is the secret weapon for stronger arms. Black beans may seem like just another staple on the plate, but for seniors, they're far more than a source of fiber and protein. They hold a hidden weapon, the ability to stabilize blood sugar. And that one factor can mean the difference between strong, steady arms and arms that give out when you need them most. Let's begin with the medical fact. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at regulating blood sugar. This is due to declining insulin sensitivity. Cells don't respond to insulin as well, so glucose lingers in the bloodstream. Spikes and crashes in blood sugar are more than an energy issue. They're a direct threat to muscle health. When your blood sugar swings wildly, your body breaks down muscle protein to compensate. That breakdown leaves your arms weaker, slower to recover, and more prone to fatigue. Now here's the lesser-known truth about black beans. They contain resistant starch and soluble fiber, which slow the release of glucose into your bloodstream. Instead of sharp spikes and sudden crashes, you get a steady stream of energy. This stability protects your muscles from being cannibalized for fuel. In other words, eating black beans helps your body preserve the very strength you need in your arms. Consider the case of Mrs. Linda, a 74-year-old retired secretary. She came to me complaining of shaky arms. She said, "Doctor, sometimes when I carry my grocery bags, I feel like my arms just collapse." Her tests showed borderline diabetes and significant muscle loss. Her meals often included pastries, white bread, and sweetened coffee, foods that gave her quick bursts of energy, but left her crashing within hours. I encouraged Linda to replace just one daily refined carb meal with a serving of black beans, sometimes as a salad topping, other times as a side dish with rice. To enhance absorption and taste, she added herbs and a squeeze of lemon juice. Within weeks, her blood sugar readings began to stabilize. 6 months later, she reported she could carry groceries without fear of dropping them. Her arms felt reliable again. Not superhuman, but steady enough to let her live independently. What I want you to understand is this. Your arms don't just rely on protein. They rely on stability. Muscles can't rebuild in an environment of chaos, where blood sugar rises and falls like a roller coaster. Black beans help flatten that ride, creating the steady conditions where repair and growth become possible. And there's more. Black beans contain magnesium, an often overlooked mineral that aids in muscle contraction and relaxation. Without enough magnesium, your muscles can cramp, twitch, or fail under strain. By providing both fiber for blood sugar control and minerals for muscle function, black beans become a dual defense system against weakness. Think about your daily routine. You wake up, make breakfast, maybe go for a short walk. Later, you need to lift a pan, reach for laundry, or hold on to the railing when climbing stairs. If your arms give out at any of these moments, the consequences can be serious. But with steady blood sugar and nourished muscles, your arms become dependable again, able to support you in those crucial seconds. Now, let me ask you, how many times have you thought of black beans as just filler food? Something cheap, something ordinary? Isn't it remarkable that such a simple food can guard you against the very dangers that threaten your independence? For seniors, every meal is a choice between weakness and strength, between fear and confidence. A cup of black beans doesn't just feed you. It shields your muscles from breakdown. And over time, that shield becomes your silent protector, ensuring your arms remain steady in moments that matter. So here's the challenge I put to you. Don't wait until your arms fail you in a critical moment. Don't wait until you're lying on the floor, wishing you had built the strength to catch yourself. Start with one serving of black beans a few times a week. Small changes today can prevent the tragedies of tomorrow. And if you thought black beans were powerful, wait until you see what soybeans can do. These legumes are not just protective. They're active rebuilders with unique compounds that can literally regenerate aging muscles. Soybeans are often seen as just another protein source, but when it comes to rebuilding aging muscles, especially the arms, they deserve the spotlight. These small, pale beans are not just food. They are medicine in disguise for seniors struggling with weakness. Let's begin with the mainstream medical fact. As we age, our bodies naturally lose efficiency in building new muscle fibers. Protein synthesis slows, and even when we eat protein, our muscles don't respond as strongly as they did in youth. This phenomenon is called anabolic resistance. For people over 60, it means you need more high-quality protein to achieve the same muscle repair that younger adults get from less. Here's where soybeans shine. Unlike many plant proteins, soy is a complete protein. It contains all 9 essential amino acids in the right balance for human muscle repair. That means your arms receive the full construction kit, not just scattered parts. And soy has something more. Isoflavones, natural plant compounds that act like mild hormone regulators. For seniors, especially postmenopausal women or older men with declining testosterone, these isoflavones can help maintain a healthier balance, indirectly supporting stronger muscles. Let me tell you about Mrs. Harper, a 70-year-old grandmother of 4. She came to my office embarrassed. "Doctor, I can't even lift my granddaughter anymore," she confessed, tears welling up. Her arms had grown thinner and weaker, and she was terrified she would drop the child. Her diet included some chicken and fish, but was mostly carbohydrates, pasta, bread, and sweets. When I suggested soy protein shakes or simply adding tofu and soybeans into her meals, she hesitated. "Isn't soy just for vegetarians?" she asked. We started simple, half a cup of boiled soybeans 3 times a week, plus tofu and stir-fries. Within 3 months, Harper noticed a change. She could hold her granddaughter again without fear. When we measured her grip strength, it had improved by nearly 25%. For her, the difference was not about numbers. It was about reclaiming a role she thought she had lost, being the strong, supportive grandmother. Beyond the emotional stories, science backs this up. Isoflavones in soy have been linked to reduced inflammation, which prevents muscle breakdown. They also support bone density, which works hand in hand with muscles to give your arms true strength. Strong muscles without strong bones are like walls without foundations. They won't hold. Soy fortifies both. Another overlooked benefit of soy is its digestibility. For seniors who struggle with digesting heavy meats, soy offers a gentler alternative. Whether in the form of soy milk, tofu, or simple boiled beans, the protein is easier to break down and use. This makes it especially valuable for seniors who need steady, usable nutrition without taxing their digestive system. Now, imagine this. You reach to open a stubborn jar lid. Your arms tremble, and your grip falters. That single moment can feel like defeat, a reminder of lost strength. But what if, by regularly incorporating soy, you slowly restored the power in your arms? What if you no longer feared simple daily tasks? This is not wishful thinking. It's what I've seen happen in patients again and again. But here's the real question I want you to consider. Why are we so quick to spend money on expensive powders or supplements when the solution could be as close as a block of tofu or a handful of soybeans? Isn't it time we recognized that the answers to strength don't always come from bottles, but from the simplest foods? Soy is not a miracle cure. It won't build muscle overnight, but with consistency, it provides your aging body with exactly what it needs to resist decline and rebuild. It transforms meals into medicine and weakness into strength. And if soybeans seem impressive, wait until we talk about kidney beans. These beans don't just nourish muscles. They protect the organs that silently determine whether your muscles can grow at all. Kidney beans, deep red, shaped like the very organ they're named after, hold a secret role in your arm strength that few people ever consider. Most seniors think of muscles as being built only from protein and exercise. But in truth, the hidden foundation of muscle growth lies in your organs, particularly your kidneys and liver. If these organs are struggling, no amount of protein will truly rebuild your arms. And this is exactly where kidney beans come into play. Let's begin with the medical fact. As we age, kidney function naturally declines. The kidneys filter waste from the blood, balance minerals, and regulate fluid levels. By age 70, many seniors lose nearly 40% of their kidney efficiency, even without obvious disease. When waste products accumulate in the blood, they don't just harm your health, they poison the environment your muscles rely on to grow. Imagine trying to build a house on toxic soil. The structure won't hold. That's exactly what happens when weakened kidneys allow toxins to accumulate. Now for the lesser-known fact. Kidney beans contain compounds called polyphenols and soluble fiber, which directly support detoxification. By binding to waste products and lowering the load on the kidneys, they indirectly protect your muscles. In addition, their steady supply of plant protein and minerals like potassium and magnesium creates the precise balance needed for healthy muscle contraction. So, while you may think of them as just beans, kidney beans are actively protecting the silent machinery that makes arm strength possible. Let me tell you the story of Mr. Robert, a 73-year-old retired truck driver. He came to me exhausted, frustrated, and worried. His arms were so weak that he couldn't even pull open the door of his refrigerator without struggling. "Doctor," he said, "I've been eating meat for protein, but I just keep getting weaker." His tests showed not only muscle loss, but also reduced kidney function, something he had never paid attention to. Meat-heavy diets were placing more strain on his kidneys, making it harder for his body to process waste and build muscle. We adjusted his diet to include kidney beans 3 times a week. Instead of always relying on steak or pork, he swapped in bean-based chili, kidney bean salads, and simple stews. Within months, Robert's blood work showed improvement. His kidney markers stabilized, his energy returned, and he began noticing subtle changes. Less fatigue in his arms, more endurance when lifting light weights at home. What struck me most was what he said one day, during a checkup. "Doctor, I feel clean inside, like my body isn't fighting against me anymore." That feeling of inner balance translated directly into outer strength. This is the critical truth I want every senior to understand. Your muscles don't exist in isolation. They are part of a system, and if your kidneys and liver are overloaded, your muscles will never rebuild properly. Kidney beans, with their detoxifying properties, help clear the path so that your arms can become strong again. Think of kidney beans as the janitors of your body. They sweep away excess waste, clean up the environment, and make it possible for the builders, protein and amino acids, to do their job effectively. Without that cleanup crew, even the best diet and exercise plan will fall short. Now, imagine this in your daily life. You go to pick up a basket of laundry. In the past, your arms may have felt shaky, your grip uncertain. But with time, as kidney beans restore inner balance and support detoxification, those same arms can lift with greater ease. It's not magic. It's physiology working in your favor. So let me ask you, how often do you think about your kidneys when you think about muscle strength? Probably never. And yet, the health of these organs may be the deciding factor in whether your arms protect you or fail you in critical moments. Isn't it time to give them the support they need? Kidney beans are inexpensive, widely available, and versatile. A bowl of bean stew, a handful tossed into a salad, or a warm chili can serve as daily medicine. The question is not whether you can afford to add them. It's whether you can afford not to. And if detox support from kidney beans surprised you, just wait until you hear what green peas can do. They don't just clean up your system. They give you quick energy and help your arms recover faster than you thought possible. Green peas are often dismissed as a side dish, something soft and simple on the plate. But hidden in these tiny green pearls is a nutrient combination that can restore quick energy and accelerate recovery for tired, aging arms. For seniors, that means turning fragile limbs into steady tools of independence again. Let's start with the mainstream medical fact. After the age of 60, recovery from even minor exertion takes much longer. This is because the body's glycogen stores, the stored form of energy in muscles, replenish more slowly. When glycogen isn't restored, your arms tire quickly, and the weakness you feel lingers long after the activity ends. It's why lifting groceries can leave you sore for days, or why a brief session of house cleaning feels like running a marathon. Now, here's the lesser-known truth about green peas. They contain a unique blend of fast-digesting starches and muscle-building protein. This pairing is unusual in the plant world. The starches provide quick energy to restore glycogen, while the protein delivers amino acids to repair fibers simultaneously. In other words, peas feed your arms in two ways at once, by refueling them and rebuilding them. Let me share the story of Mrs. Evelyn, a 69-year-old retired nurse. She came to me complaining that even light chores exhausted her arms. "Doctor," she said, "I feel like I'm dragging sandbags with me everywhere." Evelyn avoided exercise because she felt recovery was impossible. Even a short walk left her sore for days. When we examined her diet, we discovered she rarely ate legumes. Instead, she relied heavily on toast, biscuits, and tea. These gave her a burst of energy, but no lasting recovery. I recommended something simple: half a cup of green peas with lunch, either in soup, mashed on toast, or tossed into a salad. Within 2 months, Evelyn noticed a difference. She reported, "I feel less drained, and my arms don't ache the next day." By 6 months, she was not only doing light exercise, but enjoying it again. Her arms, once lifeless and slowed to bounce back, now recovered steadily after daily activity. For Evelyn, peas gave back something she thought she had lost forever: the joy of moving without fear of days-long fatigue. Science supports this. Green peas are rich in branched-chain amino acids, especially leucine, which play a key role in muscle recovery. They also supply B vitamins, crucial for converting food into usable energy. On top of that, their natural antioxidants reduce oxidative stress, another hidden factor that delays muscle healing. It's a full circle effect: energy restored, damage reduced, fibers rebuilt. Think of your arms as rechargeable batteries. Over time, the charge holds less and less, and recovery takes longer. Green peas act like both the charger and the replacement parts, ensuring not only that energy returns, but that the battery itself remains strong. Now, picture yourself folding laundry or carrying a light box. In the past, your arms may have felt heavy and sore afterward, forcing you to rest longer than you wanted. But with steady recovery from foods like peas, those same tasks become manageable again. Your arms no longer betray you. They serve you. But let's be clear, peas alone won't transform your body overnight. It's the consistent habit of nourishing your muscles that matters. Yet it's remarkable, isn't it, that something so small, so often overlooked, can hold such a powerful effect on your independence? So let me ask you, if your arms could recover faster, giving you the freedom to move and live without constant pain or fatigue, wouldn't you want to give your body that chance? Green peas prove that the smallest foods can make the biggest difference. They refuel you quickly, heal you quietly, and restore confidence in your daily movements. And if green peas can do all that, wait until you discover what navy beans bring to the table. Because while peas give you energy, navy beans strengthen your gut, the hidden system that determines whether your arms even receive the nutrients they need to grow. Navy beans may be small and plain, but their real power lies in supporting a system that most seniors rarely think about: the gut. When it comes to building strong arms, your gut health decides how much nutrition your muscles actually receive. You could eat all the protein and vitamins in the world, but if your gut is struggling, much of it never makes it to your arms. That's where navy beans quietly step in. Let's begin with the medical fact. As we age, the gut lining thins, digestive enzymes decrease, and the balance of healthy bacteria often shifts in the wrong direction. This leads to poorer nutrient absorption, constipation, and sometimes chronic inflammation. The result? Even if you eat well, your muscles, including those in your arms, don't get the raw materials they need to grow or repair. This is one of the hidden reasons seniors suffer muscle loss, despite eating enough food. Now here's the lesser-known truth. Navy beans are a prebiotic powerhouse. Their soluble fiber feeds the good bacteria in your gut, helping those microbes flourish. A healthy gut microbiome improves absorption of amino acids, vitamins, and minerals, everything your arms need to stay strong. In addition, the fermentation of fiber in navy beans produces short-chain fatty acids, which reduce inflammation and improve muscle metabolism. Think of it as turning your gut into a high-efficiency factory, where every bite of food is maximized for strength. Consider the case of Mr. Thomas, a 75-year-old retired engineer. He came to me frustrated, saying, "Doctor, I eat healthy, but my arms are still so weak. I feel like nothing sticks." He had been eating chicken, fish, and vegetables regularly, yet he still struggled to lift light objects and complained of frequent bloating. Tests revealed imbalanced gut bacteria and poor nutrient absorption. I recommended he start incorporating navy beans, just half a cup, 3 times a week. He added them to soups and casseroles and sometimes pureed them into dips. After 3 months, Thomas noticed not only less bloating, but also more energy and steadier arm strength. His grip improved, and he no longer felt the discouragement of eating well, but seeing no results. "It finally feels like my food is working for me, not against me," he said with relief. This is the crucial point. Gut health is often the missing link in senior strength. Without a healthy gut, your arms are like workers at a construction site, waiting for materials that never arrive. With navy beans, the deliveries become consistent, reliable, and abundant. Science supports this transformation. Studies show that prebiotic fibers, like those in navy beans, increase the absorption of calcium and magnesium, 2 minerals essential for muscle contraction and bone strength. They also reduce systemic inflammation, which otherwise eats away at muscle fibers over time. So in a very real sense, when you eat navy beans, you're feeding your gut bacteria, and in return, they're feeding your arms. Think of it as a partnership. You take care of your inner ecosystem with foods like navy beans, and that ecosystem takes care of you, ensuring that the protein from yesterday's meal and the vitamins from this morning's breakfast actually reach your muscles where they're needed most. Now imagine your daily routine. You wake up and reach for a heavy pan, or you steady yourself on the edge of the bed. If your gut has been failing you, those actions might feel shaky, your arms unreliable. But when your body finally absorbs what it eats, strength begins to return. Suddenly, your arms are steady again, not because you ate more, but because you absorbed more. So let me ask you this. If the secret to stronger arms isn't only what you eat, but what your gut allows you to keep, isn't it worth supporting that system with something as simple as navy beans? Navy beans prove that strength begins in the gut. They restore balance, feed your microbiome, and unlock the hidden power of your meals. And if that surprises you, just wait until you hear about mung beans. These humble legumes don't just help you absorb nutrients, they directly improve circulation and calm inflammation, giving weak arms the blood flow they desperately need. Mung beans are small, green, and often overlooked. But they carry two critical powers that directly determine whether your arms feel strong or frail: circulation and inflammation control. For seniors, these are not minor issues. Poor circulation and chronic inflammation are silent enemies that weaken muscles day by day, until you suddenly realize your arms can no longer protect you. Let's start with the mainstream medical fact. After 60, arteries stiffen and blood vessels lose elasticity. This reduces circulation, meaning less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach your muscles. At the same time, the body tends to live in a state of low-grade inflammation. Doctors call it inflammaging. It's subtle, painless at first, but over years, it chips away at muscle fibers, leaving your arms weaker and slower to respond. Now, here's the lesser-known truth. Mung beans are rich in bioactive compounds like flavonoids and phenolic acids that actively reduce inflammation. They also contain L-arginine, an amino acid that stimulates nitric oxide production, which relaxes blood vessels and improves circulation. That combination, anti-inflammatory plus circulation boosting, makes mung beans a two-pronged defense for aging arms. They calm the fire that destroys muscle and open the pathways that deliver healing nutrients. Consider the story of Mrs. Patel, a 71-year-old retired shopkeeper. She came to me complaining of heavy aching arms. "It feels like I'm wearing weights all the time," she said. Her blood tests revealed elevated inflammatory markers, and her circulation was poor. Her arms often felt cold to the touch. She had grown used to the weakness, assuming it was simply her age. I suggested she begin adding mung beans to her meals, sometimes as sprouted beans in salads, other times cooked into simple soups. At first, she was skeptical. She had always thought of mung beans as poor man's food. But after just a few months, her reports began to change. "Doctor," she said with a smile, "my arms don't feel as heavy anymore, and they warm up faster when I move." On examination, her grip strength improved and her inflammatory markers dropped. For Mrs. Patel, the change was more than physical. It was a new confidence that her body could still respond to care. This is the hidden beauty of mung beans. They don't just give you protein. They change the internal environment that decides whether your arms can heal. Think of your muscles as a garden. Poor circulation is like a broken irrigation system, and chronic inflammation is like weeds taking over the soil. No matter how many seeds you plant, nothing grows. Mung beans repair the irrigation and pull out the weeds, giving your muscles the chance to flourish again. Science confirms this. Studies show that mung bean antioxidants lower inflammatory cytokines, molecules that damage muscle fibers. At the same time, the nitric oxide boost from L-arginine enhances blood flow, ensuring that every contraction of your arms is supported by oxygen and nutrients. Now imagine lifting something as simple as a pot of water. With poor circulation and chronic inflammation, your arms may shake, ache, or even fail. But with steady improvement from foods like mung beans, that same task feels lighter, smoother, more secure. Isn't that the kind of independence worth fighting for? Let me ask you, how often have you accepted pain or heaviness in your arms as just aging? What if instead you saw it as a signal, a warning that your muscles are starving for blood flow and being attacked by hidden inflammation? And what if the solution was as simple as adding mung beans to your meals a few times a week? Mung beans remind us that strength is not only about size, it's about flow and freedom. They restore circulation, calm inflammation, and breathe life back into weary arms. And if mung beans impress you, wait until you hear how all of these legumes, together, fit into the bigger picture. In our final section, we'll bring everything together, explore safe alternatives, and show you how to build stronger arms for life. We've talked about chickpeas, lentils, black beans, soy, kidney beans, peas, navy beans, and mung beans. Each one has its unique power, but together they create something larger, a protective shield for your arms. Seniors often ask me, "Doctor, do I really need all of them? Can I just pick one?" My answer is always the same. While one legume can help, it is the variety that provides full strength and safety. Here's the mainstream medical fact. Muscle loss with age, what doctors call sarcopenia, isn't caused by a single factor. It's the result of multiple problems working together. Slower protein synthesis, declining hormone levels, reduced circulation, weaker gut absorption, and higher inflammation. That's why one food alone cannot stop the process. But when you combine legumes, you cover all the angles. Protein to build, iron to energize, fiber to detox, antioxidants to heal, and prebiotics to absorb. Each type of legume fills a different gap in the aging body. Now here's the lesser-known truth. Studies show that seniors who eat a diverse range of legumes, 3 or more different types weekly, have better grip strength and lower risk of disability than those who rely on just one source of protein. Why? Because each bean carries a slightly different package of amino acids and plant compounds. For example, soy provides complete protein, lentils add iron, mung beans improve circulation, and navy beans repair gut function. Together they form a network of support your arms can actually rely on. Let me share the story of Mrs. Garcia, a 76-year-old retired librarian. She came to me after suffering 2 minor falls in her kitchen. "Doctor, I just don't trust my arms anymore," she admitted. She had been eating chicken and rice most of her life, rarely trying other protein sources. Her arms looked thin, her grip was weak, and she feared the next fall might break her hip. We worked on adding variety: lentil soups twice a week, black beans with brown rice, soy milk at breakfast, and mung bean sprouts in salads. At first, she resisted. "I don't know how to cook all these," she said. But with some simple recipes, she adjusted quickly. 6 months later, her story changed. Her grip strength improved, her arms looked fuller, and most importantly, She felt safer in her own home. "Doctor," she said, "for the first time in years, I caught myself when I tripped. My arms held me up." That moment, for her, was life-changing. This is why I tell every senior, don't underestimate the power of combining these foods. It isn't just about nutrition. It's about insurance for your independence. Every bean you add is like another layer of protection against frailty. Think of it this way. Your arms are like a bridge. Over time, the cables weaken, the supports rust, and the surface cracks. One type of repair might patch a hole, but unless you strengthen every part, the bridge remains unsafe. Legumes work together to repair all parts of your arms: circulation, fibers, bones, and recovery, so the whole structure holds strong. Now, I want you to imagine your future. Picture yourself 5 or 10 years from now. Will your arms be too weak to lift your grandchild, to open a jar, or to protect you in a fall? Or will they still serve you, steady and strong, because you made the choice today to nourish them? Let me ask you directly, if the solution to preserving your strength is simple, affordable, and already sitting on grocery shelves, why would you wait? Why risk your independence for lack of variety on your plate? As we prepare to close, I want you to remember this. Food is not just fuel. It is the medicine your body craves. And in the final section, I'll show you how to put everything together safely. We'll recap the lessons, explore other alternatives that can support your arms, and give you a clear roadmap for staying strong for decades to come. Because saying goodbye to weak arms isn't just possible. It's within your reach, starting with the next meal you choose. We've walked through an entire journey together, starting with a frightening image of weak arms that fail to protect you, then uncovering how 9 humble legumes can restore strength, resilience, and independence. If there is one message I want you to take away, it is this. Aging changes how your body responds to food, but that doesn't mean weakness is inevitable. With the right choices, you can keep your arms strong, steady, and dependable for years to come. Let's briefly recap. Chickpeas provide a steady protein base. Lentils give iron and amino acids to energize and rebuild. Black beans stabilize blood sugar, so your muscles don't break down. Soy offers complete protein and hormone balance. Kidney beans protect your organs, making muscle growth possible. Green peas refuel your energy and speed recovery. Navy beans feed your gut, unlocking full absorption of nutrients. Mung beans restore circulation and calm inflammation. Together, they form a protective circle around your arms, covering every weakness that aging tries to exploit. But legumes aren't the only answer. I know some of you may be allergic, sensitive, or simply unable to eat them daily. That's why I want to leave you with safe alternative foods that can also support your muscle health. Berries. Rich in antioxidants, they fight oxidative stress, reducing muscle damage and aiding recovery. Avocados. Packed with healthy fats and potassium, they keep muscles flexible and nerves firing smoothly. Pumpkin seeds. High in magnesium and zinc, they strengthen muscle contraction and repair. Eggs. An affordable, complete protein with essential amino acids for rebuilding fibers. Salmon. A protein source with omega-3s that calm inflammation and protect joints alongside muscles. Greek yogurt. Easy to digest, full of protein and probiotics, supporting both muscle growth and gut health. You don't need all of these every day. The key is to create a rotation that feeds your muscles consistently. Combining plant-based proteins like legumes with other safe foods that suit your digestion and lifestyle. Now let's talk about rules. Simple, practical guidelines for making food your ally in building strong arms. Pair protein with fiber and healthy fat. This slows digestion and maximizes absorption. For example, beans with olive oil and vegetables. Eat protein earlier in the day, morning or midday. Protein gives your muscles time to use it for repair and energy. Never skip recovery meals. After physical activity, even light chores, give your arms a boost with legumes, eggs, or yogurt. Stay hydrated. Muscles are 75% water. Without enough fluids, all the protein in the world won't work. Consistency beats quantity. A small serving daily is far better than a huge serving once a week. I know these rules may feel simple, but simplicity is power. Seniors often feel overwhelmed by diets, supplements, and complicated plans. But the truth is, strength after 60 is built on small, steady habits. Half a cup of beans here, a handful of seeds there, a glass of water after meals, it all adds up. Let me return to the story I began with. The fear of falling, of arms giving out when you need them most. For too many, that fear becomes reality. But it doesn't have to be yours. Every time you choose a legume, every time you nourish your muscles with intention, you're stacking the odds in your favor. You're telling your body, I still need you strong. I still have a life to live. And here's the most important part. It's never too late. Whether you are 60, 70, or even 85, your muscles can still respond. I've seen it in patients who thought their strength was gone forever, only to discover that, within months of changing their diet, their arms were steady again, their confidence restored. So as we close, I want you to feel hope, not fear. Weak arms are not your destiny. Knowledge is your power, food is your medicine, and strength is within your reach. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another health tip made just for you. Take care of yourself, take care of your arms, and remember, every small choice you make today can protect your independence tomorrow. Goodbye for now, and goodbye, weak arms.